Hello everybody, welcome back. So the last video was on the first section of the Annapurna trek, and this section is on part 2. So I'll keep it short because there's a lot of ground to cover, but please enjoy. So after our several day rest in Manong, the very first thing we did is we headed out and headed toward Tilco Base Camp, which was a kind of long hike away, but it was mostly flat. Here we are. We just left Manang, and we're on our way towards Tilco Lake Base Camp. Tilco Lake is the highest elevation glacial lake in the world.
Yeah, which means it's the highest elevation lake in the world.
Boom. So this is where we're walking right now. An awfully well paved road.
The best road we've seen in the entire country exists here.
Yeah, weirdly enough. Even better than Kathmandu.
Way better than Kathmandu.
Anyway, so the hike to Tilco Base Camp was absolutely stunning. We were hiking through this kind of really narrow valley the entire time, and there was a lot to see along the way. That last thing you just saw there was actually a monastery we passed by, which was sitting right next to a town where we got these delicious noodles for lunch that were from Tibet. And then we crossed over a lot of different hanging bridges and past different tea shops kind of nestled in the mountains, which was super cool. Of course, we saw a bunch of wildlife too. These are, I believe, blue sheep, but they're mountain goats. And they were everywhere, which is pretty cool. And then also along this part of the trail, which was actually a pretty bad rock slide, we saw a bunch of donkeys, because that's the only way they can get materials and food and water to and from Tilco Lake Base Camp. So that was another cool little factor. So we saw a lot of those and had to stop a lot to pass by that the donkeys passed by. Funnily enough, in this section, I actually almost got taken out by a rock slide because I was looking for some of those mountain goats, and they had kicked up some rocks, which started tumbling down the mountain, picking up bigger and bigger ones. Luckily, I dodged them, but it was kind of a close call. And this right here is Tilco Lake Base Camp. Super cute. It was freezing cold. So here is our room. The beds are very dirty. Lots of cum stains.
Lots of cum stains, actually.
And then this is the view. And you walk out. So the next morning we woke up nice and early at 3 a.m. to hike up, because that day we were hiking all the way up to Tilco Lake and then all the way back down and back to the town that we had lunch in earlier. So we had a lot of ground to cover today. But the hike was gorgeous. There was a lot of people doing it, so there were lights all along the way. The first part was kind of brutal. My toes were freezing off practically, but once the sun came over the ridge, it was absolutely perfect. Hello.
Hello.
We are heading to
Tilco
Lake. Ooh, it's cold. We left at 5 in the morning?
We're supposed to leave at
4, but here we are. Look at that. The sun's starting to come up. Hey, and look at that.
Yeah.
Richie Mountain.
Dad has to pee.
I do have to
I
pee.
need to poop. We're having a great time.
Sad days for the bathroom boys. Other
much
than that, tell you what, doesn't that look like some nice ass skiing? Some lovely lumps. Yeah. I'm gonna get you drunk. Get you drunk on my lady hump. My hump. My hump, my hump, my hump. My lovely lady hump. Hey.
Welcome to Chili Show! Yeah!
So once we got to Tilico, there was actually a tea hut at the top, which we stopped, got warm, drank some tea, and kind of relaxed a little bit before we started prepping to go back down the mountain. And here's us kind of posing and taking some photos in front of the lake. Yes.
You got it?
Look, we're on the moon. Whoa. Whoa, I can breathe, but he can't. Whoa.
Racist ass moon.
It doesn't like Asians.
You know how to get there.
So this next section here actually took us 2 days, but the very first half of it, Orion actually, as you can see here, rode a horse for the majority of it, really, because on the way down from Tilico Lake, his knee started hurting again. This is the same thing that was happening earlier because he couldn't do ice lake for it. So we rented him a horse or a donkey, and he rode out, which as he recounts the story to me, was absolutely terrifying because he had to ride over that rock scree field on a donkey. Orion has survived his horse ride of doom. Look, he's here with us now. Here's Gia. Yay.
Thank you, Gia.
Yes, thank you,
Saved
Gia.
my life.
Okay.
More than once today.
Yeah, so he's alive. There we go. Good stuff. So after some well-deserved rest, we struck back out with Thorong La Pass destination in mind. Well, not for that day, but in a couple of days past this. But the hiking towards it was absolutely gorgeous. We had to go up valley a little bit because we crossed over to the valley kind of split down the center. So we crossed into the other one and hiked up that for a little bit and made it to this beautiful little town which had these prayer flags all over the hotel that we were staying. And the hotel was so warm and so nice. We played lots of card games and board games, which was really, really great. Hello, everybody. We are hiking up to hello, Thorong Petty today, base camp of Thorong La Pass. About 6 hours of hiking today. There's our lovely guide.
Gia.
Her wisdom teeth are not behaving right now.
She is mute.
So
But she can still communicate through nays and whines.
So the next day was actually pretty short. We were just making to Thorong La Petty, which is Thorong La Base Camp. It was only about 2 hours of hiking or so. So it was a nice chiller day, letting us kind of get used to the altitude. So this is our room tonight. We're sleeping with Sujin. And here's the view. It's beautiful. So the next day we hiked up to Thorong La High Camp, which is kind of partway up into the Thorong La Pass, not too much higher. Just about an hour hike. It did not take very long to get to. But the elevation at that point was really starting to kick because this camp was about 4,800 meters. So pretty high up there. But the view we had was absolutely spectacular. We got up there for sunset, which you couldn't see a ton of because the mountains were tall enough. It was blocking the majority of it. But you could see a lot of the kind of goldens on the top of the peaks and like the nice oranges and pinks kind of covering the sky, which is lovely. And right there, actually, as you can see, is the trail that we're going to take the very next day. It's what, 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
We're going over Thorongla Pass. It's about 1 degree.
Yay. Let's hope it's not windy.
Yeah, right. This is what here's what we're working with here. Yay. It's cold. Great stars though. So it was another very early morning. Woke up again, I think around 3 a.m. and it was just about as cold as it was the morning at Taliku Lake. I was definitely praying and waiting for that sun to rise to warm me up, but the elevation this time was kicking me hard. I mean, it was very much a slow kind of trotting pace up the mountain. Sun.
Here comes the sun.
Here comes the sun. Ah, sun. Made it. 5,416 meters high. Okay, so I actually walked up a little bit more from, where is it? From there, from the peak of the pass. So I'm actually slightly higher than 5,416. So when I eventually show this to Orion, I will have been slightly higher than him. What's the point? No point. But you know what, why not? T-shop is the shop to drink tea. Yes, it is. Tea.
Welcome to Thorongla!
It's going.
If I take one more step, Mr. Frodo, I'll be the highest I've ever been. So after kind of messing around on the peak for a little while, we started heading down, and we actually headed down into the Mustang Valley. We've made it. Everyone else is still coming down, but I know, we're almost done. But we made it to our lunch spot. So, huge.
Just ordered spring roll.
Yum. But this is where we came from. Way up there. So, yeah, you can't. It goes way further than that. But we made it down with only Orion's leg hurting, I think, a lot, but he'll be okay. Hopefully, we'll see. So once we made it down from Thorongla Pass, we headed into the town of Mukanath, which is in the Mustang Valley. And the town of Mukanath is famous because it has a Hindu temple, which is widely renowned throughout Nepal and India, because it has 108 sacred taps, which are fed from spring water from the mountains, as you can see us run through. And it's tradition to run through all 108 of these taps, which were freezing cold, might I add, and then jump into 2 pools of water, and it will cleanse all your sins. So I, of course, ran through the taps. I did not jump into the water because they seemed a little dirty. But the taps were great, very refreshing, but super cold. So here's me doing it with a couple of the other people that we were hiking with. Orion sadly was not here for this portion because on coming down from Thorongla Pass, his knee started to act up again. So he ended up taking a motorcycle down for the last little portion because he had made it to the road successfully. But after exploring the Hindu temple, we walked over to a nearby Buddhist temple as well, which was right next to it, which was pretty cool. And right here actually was this building that had a sacrificial or sacred flame, which it was a natural flame. There's some sort of natural gas, and you can like go in there and look into a little box, and there's just a natural flame kind of in there, which was pretty cool. So we eventually made it into the town of Mukanath and then rested for the night. So the next day we took a long bus ride to Pokhara, but stopped partway in Marfa, which is known for its apple wine, apple farms, and also there's a very popular tradition for tourists to dress up in traditional Tibetan clothing. So our whole group is doing it, so Orion and I joined in, and here we are donning the uniforms, and we kind of walked around, took a lot of photos in it, which is pretty fun.
What are you thinking, cousin? That your kingdom would be much better served if I owned it. Yes, but I would shut down the Seabach phone industry. It would be useless to you. Make a great point, cousin. I'll only kill your family. Good. My son's a bitch. Take 2 apples.
What do you want to exchange for?
Oh! No, he's too cool! Shoot! I didn't see that coming.
小意思真的。
什么手势才那么
So at the very end of the day, we were driving out of the Mustang Valley, which was gorgeous in and of itself. But we were able to see, you see that little white peak there in the distance, that's actually Annapurna 1, which is the 10th tallest mountain in the world. So we were able to get a good look at it, which was awesome, because we had yet to be able to see that. Throughout the rest of the hike, it was hidden by Annapurna 2, 3, 4, Gangaparna and such. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Sorry for the delay in posting this video. It was Christmas time. But thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.